Is full-time RV living lonely? That is the question we're going to chat about today.
Yes, this question came about because in this episode, we leave Traverse City and we make our way to Ohio to visit some very good friends of ours from Arizona. And so Trish and I got to talking about friendships, RV living, loneliness. What could we do to kind of help us keep friendships alive and all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. But first, let's get it kicked off. Nothing feels better than a full tank of fuel and a full tank of gas.
I can tell you what feels better.
What?
A gas scale. Yeah!
I think someone's being sarcastic. I think someone's being sarcastic.
I would agree with that.
What's going on here?
Subliminal messaging.
What's that?
You got your spot right here.
Dude, that's nice. I like it.
For you.
Yeah. We need a new bumper.
Are you serious?
Dude, I don't know what it is.
River House, man. Party time.
Okay. This
Wow.
is our river house.
Yes.
You ready?
Yep, everything's closed. But I had to close up a window.
Head west on Curtis Road toward Silver Lake Crossings Boulevard.
I thought she was going to say, you have 5 hours and 12 minutes. So we don't normally do 5-hour drive days, but we try not to. It's in the realm of our
Fatiguing?
fatiguing.
It's in the realm of possibility.
It
but
is.
It brinks on fatigue.
It brings on fatigue because we're going through Toledo.
It's a bumpy road.
Which I have said before is some of the worst roads in the country.
Sorry, Toledo.
Sorry, Toledo. But here's why. You might have missed, because this particular video didn't get anywhere near the same views. You might have missed when we toured Atlas Tubing.
Oh, that was so cool.
It was so cool. They make all the hitches and axles for Dexter. Well, they do a lot of stuff, but this particular location does tubing. And so we actually toured that facility.
Yes. And
it was a lot of fun. And it's then that we learned that the 80,000 pounds over the road restriction doesn't apply to Michigan.
That area.
They're up in like the 140,000 pound range, which is why there's so many tires. And as a result, I think I can connect the dots between 140,000 pounds, winter, and bad roads.
Yes.
Anyway, so.
We also get to bring you down the Detroit, is it the river? Detroit River?
Detroit River, yes.
Where Canada is on one side and Detroit is on the other. It's really cool.
It's very cool. So check out that video if you want to watch something next. And that's what happens, by the way, when we link it and this thing flies out here like that, you click that and then it comes up on the side and then you click the video. It pauses this video, opens that into a new browser. Then you pause that video, come back here, finish it, and then you got something to watch next.
Done.
Done. Brakes work.
It's been a while since we felt the way we did.
I'm going on a road trip, guys. I'm going on a road trip. No, where's I am?
It's been a while since I looked into your eyes and saw starlight, bold bright colors. Yeah, when I'm down, when I'm dry, no one else.
I know how much you love concrete barriers and orange cones. How are you doing over there, 10 and 2? Don't talk. Shh. Surprisingly, Toledo did not seem as bad as last time. What do you think?
Not at all, but I think we're moving directly through Detroit.
I think we're on slightly better roads. I also think we're not 30,000 pounds, which the toy hauler and F450 towed really well, very stable. And we never felt like it was too big or at risk or anything like that. But 30,000 pounds is still really heavy. When you hit a bump with the weight in the bed like that, I mean it makes some noise. So this is a little quieter, nimbler, slightly more nimble setup. So I think that's playing a factor in here. But it really, this road wasn't bad. What are we on right now, Trish? What road is this?
280 South.
280 South? I thought we were on the, right now we're on the 280. Not terrible.
stuck at finalizing transaction. Please wait. Did it come through the rest of the way?
It said canceled, so should we just do a
Okay,
paper?
so go ahead and pull off and pull back on, and we'll try it again.
Okay, very good.
Waiting again.
Yes.
It still says finalizing transaction. Please wait on my screen, so I'm not sure what it's doing.
All right, we'll pull off.
Thank you.
I think we should just go in now that we got
Can we
the
go over
footage.
there?
You can go that way. We don't have to. We don't have to wait.
Okay.
App didn't work. The fact of the matter is, almost everything I do the first time doesn't work. You go that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way.
Like the
I'm
first
just
time I
gonna-
used the fuel card, didn't work. First time I used the cat scale, didn't work.
But you know what? It's your positivity that gets you going.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I had one experience, transaction canceled. If I had one
Okay.
experience, if I assessed the value of anything based upon the first experience, it would always be bad.
No one else, no one.
Bam.
It works.
Did you doubt?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know. It totally worked.
We took the last site of the at Gotta Get Away RV Park, and it doesn't look really level, and there's no water, there's no electric. But because I've had an interesting experience at this RV park, I'm going to be taking extra precaution back again here. Anyway, let's go do it.
Okay, the only thing I can't see are trees on your passenger side.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be here for your driver's side. Oh yeah, there you go. Come on in.
Am I missing the table?
Hold on. Wait. Yep, you're missing the table. You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep coming back. You look great. You missed the grooves, which is perfect. You did great. Okay, go slow so I can see. Wait, go slow. Slow down. Wait, stop for a second. Let me come around. Stop for a second.
Oh my gosh, we're level.
You're joking.
We just have to come down 6 inches. The problem is we can't come down 6 inches because we're not going to detach. I could let air out of the truck, but I don't think that'll get me down 6. All right, we're about ready to go here. It's kind of a little bit of an eventful night last night. I was sitting out here on the door and I was reaching around to try to close this, and I guess I wasn't really paying attention, but my thumb was in the door jamb. And when this thing swung around like this, it shut and latched on my thumb. And I couldn't get the door open because my thumb. And I thought I would be able to permanently do that little trick that grandparents do with their thumb removal, but turns out it was all right. Yeah, it's not a factor. Okay. I just damaged our bumper. And we need a new bumper.
Are you serious?
Dude, I don't know what it is.
Yes.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I went down that steep grade, and because I was coming out of the dump, so I was coming out of the dump station, so I had to make a sharp turn there, and then I went down the grade, and then I turned left.
Onto Sand Hill Road, then turn right onto Yangling Road.
And then as I went left, I dragged the bumper over the grass, and it ripped our bumper up.
Oh shoot. It's that RV park, man.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but it has nothing to do with the RV park, but
You want to go right here so we can just
we
stop?
personally do not have the best luck there. Oh man. Dude, the learning just never ends.
Oh my gosh, you got a lot of. Wow, you really brought home a souvenir. Well, that sucks real bad. But I
Yeah.
guess that's just taking it off right here. It's a part. You could actually do it. Just glad
The issue is, I mean, if I look back, this is why like 80% of issues with an airplane are pilot error, because you can always look back and Monday morning quarterback it. But there was a car coming, and I had plenty of room, but I should have just waited for the car to pass, because after I got on that hill and I looked in my rearview mirror and I'm like, ooh, that's a steep grade. Had that car not been there, I just would have put it in reverse. I would have backed up, I would have done it again. But because that car was going, I had to go forward. So in hindsight, I shouldn't have ever put myself in a situation where I had to continue to go when I saw that corner was there. So, you know, hey, at least we're able to share some of this stuff so that if you find yourself anywhere near a similar situation, you can be like, hey, I remember that one time that Mark damaged his bumper on that Airstream? Maybe we should just slow down. All right, you ready to go?
I was expecting like the bikes to be hurt. This is not bad because you can just take it off.
Well, I agree. It's not a lot of damage, but it's still disappointing damage. And one thing I like about this bike rack is how high it is off of the ground, because it comes out and does this. It doesn't, I've never hit it yet. Knock on aluminum. All right, ready? Let's go. Glad we're going through here on a Sunday, huh? There it is.
Yay! Oh, and you can pull it up right there.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And pull back.
How are you? Good to see you.
Welcome to the abode. You got your spot right here.
Dude, that's nice. I like it.
For you.
Yeah.
I made him do an extra wide just so the Airstream could come in here.
Did you see the last episode? Bill Cooper put 50 amps in for me, you know?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Just,
you go.
I'm just
I
throwing
can
that
do
out there,
I can
Jason.
do that. Because right there's the water line, man.
only
We
on
want you guys to
Instagram.
get dialed in because we're floating. Let's get going.
Today?
Yeah. It's
Really?
supposed to rain tomorrow.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so we're gonna float right before dinner.
Really?
All right, dude.
Does floating mean like on a float, or does
There's
that
tubes
is that
and the
fishing?
rafts. You remember my ones that took the Rocky
Yes.
Point?
What do I need?
I never know.
Bathing suit.
Like.
All
yeah,
right.
here.
That's it.
Stop. Nope.
How's it not working?
Well, it was actually better with it's just dragging them forward.
All right, maybe we should. So Anderson blocks have a little mat that you can put down, and I have not bought one, and I don't know why I haven't bought one, because in gravel, you need it. So maybe I should just use blocks, leveling blocks.
Okay. Whoa. No, you got it. Stop.
It says I'm level there.
Yeah,
They're getting it.
that's great. But now you're gonna have to chalk it big time because it's up.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Are you gonna go have some fun?
Yeah, I'm gonna go float, and then we're gonna do introductions. We gotta do introductions.
That's right. You gotta know the
It's not the first time y'all been on the channel. We went to go see you do gymnastics in Ohio. We've got some pretty stellar footage of you.
Yeah.
Shay, of
were
course,
against
with her
Denver.
infamous high from season 1.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories here
Oh yeah.
in this group.
Yeah.
Caleb, you coming?
Caleb
Hold
is.
on, I'm still coming. I'm going in a tube.
Jason said trout fishing doesn't start for another month.
Oh, they're tubing today, babe.
Just
Tubing
tubing.
today.
Shoot. What are you doing?
River House, man. It's party time. It's playtime.
We got 2 boats and Baby Yoda.
Exactly. Pretty much exactly right.
Meters and everything, then you put them in here because they're all muddy and
Are these like Jason's friends, and they're like members of the?
they're members of the Augustine Club. It rises and falls with weather.
Is water cold, Caleb?
No, it's warm.
It is.
Yeah.
Get down there.
Take a picture of my
Are there any waterfalls we need to be aware of?
I'm not taking the big camera, so it's okay. Hey, if I'm not back by 7 Central, just hit the publish button.
Done.
We got a mosey. We're going there, Brad. Yeah, you got to keep yourself down, like aim downstream.
Okay.
You head in, like if you have a hazard, head to the hazard, then you pull back away from the hazard.
Gotcha.
That's how you do it. You know, otherwise you just steer, do what you want to do, and just float. If you gotta like truly float, just put them behind you like that. You can use your feet too.
Dude, I'm not doing anything right now. And
yeah, but
and
you
this,
can use your feet to like, steer yourself.
what river is this, man?
It's called the Chagrin River.
Chagrin River.
East of Cleveland, yeah. It's about 30 miles east of Cleveland.
How'd you find this place?
This is where I fish at Steelhead every year. I've been doing this since I was 19.
Really?
I still find Wiley's house, riding on my bike with eyes closed. I could name every girl that he took out. And from my memory dial his house phone. Can you take me back when we were just kids? We weren't scared of getting older, yeah. Cause no one knows you like they know.
You're like an expert, man.
No one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but truth is, there's nothing like old friends. Cause you can't make old friends. Yeah. I still feel the window.
Hey, Jason, I remember about a year and a half ago, you were saying you bought this little property and you're gonna have this little fishing hut and there was gonna be some sticks. What happened between that conversation
There's 35
and right
of them.
now?
It's called the EPA.
I had nothing to do with that.
Shay, it
And then
looks like
it's
you
this-
had a lot to do with this. It looks like at some point Shay got involved. Sorry, so you probably remember the Augustines from season 1, all right? And then their daughter Lexi and Lucas. Who are you playing for right now?
The Milwaukee Admirals, and they're affiliated with the Nashville Predators.
Sweet. And then of course, I mean, we got our gymnast and so there's a lot of stellar athletes in this household.
We've had family. You were our first official guest.
Yes.
We've
bringing in
broken
the
the
joint.
family thing, and that right there, since my mom passed, that's what Jean's deck means. So that she would have been that we did. We christened that last trip, so we had the whole family here for that. But it was, you know, so I mean, she was just into nature and just. This would have been epic for her.
Yeah, she would have.
But it's so now this is the official party weekend of friends.
Nice.
Good drink, good food. You know, this is welcome. That's all I can say.
Now
That's
I've
awesome.
got some good friends now, but I have never seen their parents' back porch. It wouldn't change how things turned out. But there's no one in this time zone who knows what inline skates that I.
This looks gorgeous. Having friends who know how to cook is super fun.
Yeah.
Can you take me
Having friends with a river house is nice too.
We were just kids. We weren't scared of getting older.
But good friends, I'm gonna do a couple cheers. Good friends, okay, for years, okay. This guy right here is like family. It's my brother. Okay? This is like my sister-in-law.
You can grow up, make new ones, but the truth is that we grow up, then wish we could go back then. There's nothing like old friends.
I already got it.
I'll give you a try.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
You can't make old friends.
No, you're not hitting. I've already knocked 2 out of the 3 cans now.
Strong.
Yeah, it's because you know what? I've been doing this since I was like 6 years old.
So as you can tell, Jason and Shay, our very good friends, are very special people.
Yes.
And we have been so lucky this season to have spent as much time as we have with the Coopers and so many friends this season.
Yeah, it's really important to us to touch base with our core group. And that's why we want to talk today about, is full-time RV living lonely? Because it can be. And so that's one of our very first tips, is awareness, knowing that RV living full-time can be lonely. So what are you going to do about it, right?
Yeah, well, and on that score, when you first kick off, it's so exciting. And you're seeing such amazing places, and you're meeting so many new people, that you're on a 10 for so long that it doesn't really matter, because you're just going, right?
And it could just be completely busy, so you don't even have time to think about it. If you're traveling with a family, just keeping everybody safe and in line and where we're going and what are we doing is a huge distraction for your mind.
Yeah, but here's what happens, or at least for us, what happens over time, is there's so many amazing groups within the full-time RV living community, from the family groups to the business groups to remote working groups and older groups and poker groups. Endless, right? But as you know, anytime that you're going to build a relationship with someone, it takes effort, it takes energy. And then it takes energy to say goodbye. So you meet great people and you get to know them, which isn't easy.
No.
And then you have to say goodbye.
But this is the feeling that we get at the end when you've made great friends, but everybody needs to go off and go do their thing. It's actually very sad. You have to mentally prepare yourself.
And time again, that can be kind of wearing.
It can create loneliness in and of itself.
Exactly.
You can feel the feeling settling in.
So the first one is to be aware, being aware that yes, it is possible that full-time living can be lonely. And then the second thing is to put in the effort that it takes to mitigate it, or to offset it, or reduce the loneliness. So what would you say?
I feel like when we're back at home, right, in your wherever you came from, it's easier to have friendships because your whole life is kind of based on crossing paths, and you have different organizations and places where you spend time, and it's easy to have relationships. And when you leave, you realize who the most important people were in that world for you.
Because they're the people that you did take the effort to keep in touch with.
Yes. So everything takes effort. It takes effort to fill your cup with your friendships back home. It takes effort to put yourself out there and meet new people on the road, and then follow up with them and make a plan to see them again. But you really have to put the onus on you, like put that responsibility back on you. Otherwise, you could find yourself with a lot of free time on your hands and without the people that really mean the most to you.
Yeah. And so as the Kiwis would say, here's just a little hot tip on some things that might help as you go into full-time RV living, is be very aware of how your friends and your family might be feeling about you going off on this epic adventure. And if you think that sending everybody in a big group chat text or a big group email of all the amazing things you're doing, and that's going to be well received, it may not be.
Right.
Because if you left to go do something great and you're communicating back, look where I am now, and look what we did yesterday, and look at this, rather than saying, hey, what's going on in your life?
Right.
And how are your kids doing, and how are your parents doing, and what's going on with you? That could be a surefire way so that when you have a homecoming and you got the whole fire up the whole slide machine, and the fan's running and the lights are dim, that nobody's there.
Nobody's
to watch
in that
your
room.
slideshow.
Nobody's in that room.
Click.
Well, and I have to say that full-time living, sometimes you get really excited about where you are and where you're going, and you kind of lose track of time. So even writing it in your calendar to say, hey, did I check up with my friend here? Did I ask a question
and anniversaries
here? Did I send a card? Just little things can keep a big connection alive.
Hey, that's a good point. There's a big difference between sending someone a text on you on top of a mountain holding a flag versus sending someone a postcard and taking the time to handwrite a letter and sending it back, because everybody loves mail. So that might be just a quick idea to keep in touch with your friends.
Yeah, totally.
All right, and then the third point was?
Really taking responsibility for how you feel. So when you show up, you might be like, where's my party? I'm home. It's really your responsibility to come back home and make the event happen. So, let's have dinner. Let's go for a hike. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Remember, everybody's been living their life and doing their thing, and now you're back. So we have to figure out how to fold ourselves in and really take responsibility for how we feel about that. So it might be a total high of like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And maybe it might not feel quite like that because they've had to find other friends to do things with, or, you know, maybe kids get older and there's not the same connections with the groups of kid friends. So, so anyway, there's just, when you go into it, just know that for us, we had to take a lot of responsibility and say, hey, we'd love to have you over for dinner. Hey, I'd love to go for a hike with you.
Or take you out to dinner when we didn't have a house and things like that.
Yes, exactly.
Another hot tip is try not to substitute a lot of acquaintances for your core group of friends. That if you have friends that you've had for a very long time and you've been through trials together and you've had kids together and job changes and just things
they
of
know
that
the
nature,
thick and the thin of
they
your
know
life.
the thick and the thin. And as a result, you know, that's where you're able to meet someone and pick up right where you left off.
Yes.
And that's a very comforting and reassuring feeling. Because now you don't have to put in effort to get to know someone. They know exactly who you are.
Right.
And you're not going to be misunderstood, and you're not going to be, you know, I'm not going to have somebody going, geez, I don't, you know, it's just like I said before, it takes effort and energy to build new relationships. And the great things about relationships you already have, old friends, is in this video, is that you don't have to go through that.
Right.
You could just pick up right where you left off. And so if you could build that into your route, I guess here's the hot tip. If you can build in those core relationships and friends and family throughout the route, then you can kind of get rejuvenated along the way.
Right. And you can make new friends along the way. You can put the effort in and create those strong bonds.
We have.
So just remember, those new friends are silver, but those old friends are gold. So you want to keep those friendships alive by pouring into them.
All right. So we'd love to know what you do to keep friendships alive in the comments below.
Yes.
And other things like that, especially if you're full-time or considering, or maybe if you're considering going full-time, what other questions about community and friendships you have. And we can, I'm going to pin a comment to this video so that we can keep that thread going at the top.
Or how you use your RV to stay connected, because that's our favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Plan a route.
Yes.
So
In
we can
fact,
go
we met
visit.
some insiders, and they, I think there were 3 sisters.
Yes, 3 sisters.
And they use their RV to meet up on a big summer annual trip because they all live in different states.
Yes.
And so they get together. So there's ways that you can use your RV
to get even closer, keep
Yes.
those bonds strong.
And then beyond that, if you missed last weekend's episode, we announced that Trish and I are the co-creators and hosts of E3 Camping Association.
Yes.
So there is still an opportunity to get on the front of the list line so that you get notified to become a founding member. Just go to e3camping.com.
And put in your email.
And then next week, we're going to pick up in Ohio and start to make our way east, and we're going to share with you our COVID testing, and because it just went so great, and I took it like a champ.
Yeah, right.
And so that's what we have going on. So lots to come this season. It's been pretty cool.
We'll see you on the road.
All right.
You like it?
Very
That's all I've been doing is just working and playing. I'm working and playing.
So it's been raining it rained last night. It rained for a good 10 hours. And look at the difference what's going on in this river in just 24 hours. I mean, that's just, it's crazy. And you remember the steps when Trish was walking down the steps with Charlie just 24 hours ago? Look at how much the water's coming up on those steps right now on those logs. Isn't that amazing?